Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the success story from Dr. Vineet Goel. Congratulations. I have Dr. Vineet Goel, who's scored beautifully well in NEET SS September 23 with All India rank 4, and this was his first attempt. And we are here, and this is probably the first interview going live for any top scorer for this exam. And I was so insistent, he was on duty, and he said that, sir, I will do it because you've requested it. And I thank you, Dr. Vineet. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, sir.
So, Dr. Vineet is doing MD from Lady Harjanj. Dr. Vineet, when did you complete your MD?
Sir, I completed it on June 2023,
Okay.
this year only.
So, this was your first attempt, right?
Yes, sir, it was my first attempt, sir.
So it's commendable, first attempt and getting a rank like All India 4 with residency just finishing off. So when did this preparation start off? I mean, a lot of people say first attempt ho gaya, to must be like starting when kind of thing. So I think for the
Sir,
students to know,
actually, I started for NEET PG this January 2023 only, mainly for MCQ part, but the preparation starts from starting of residency only,
right,
as the clinical questions they asked also. So most of the questions were from that only, that
right,
clinical questions mainly.
right,
So
and
preparation had started much way before, but
right.
for NEET PG, basically I started doing MCQs and doing the stuff that they ask mainly in NEET PG from January 2023.
Right. And you were part of a doc tutorial subscription. You were
Yes, sir, I was.
subscribed to the NEET SS as well as INI module where you were preparing. And then you are a
Yes,
dedicated cardiology diehard aspirant, right? Correct me.
yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
because I mean,
This is
Dr.
correct.
Vineet was not even part of any other neurology or gastroenterology or endocrine or WhatsApp groups. That's how we share. So he's only part of one group, that's cardiology group, and of course he was subscribed to
Yes,
the
sir.
app itself with the whole
Yes, sir.
course being taken care by our NEET SS faculty as well as INI. So how was
Yes.
the experience that you had with the preparation with doc tutorials as you were going through the modules? How the modules are designed? If you can just describe how you utilized those modules, because
Sir,
see, anybody who subscribes to also gets like a pack of a question bank, which is one of the largest. Then you get subscription of videos, which are plenty, so much to
yes,
choose from. Then there are notes, then there is Q bank, then there is test series, then you have to read the original book. So there's so much to do. So how do you
yes.
juggle and how do you balance out all this?
Sir, honestly, I didn't get time to see the videos from doc tutorial, but I utilized the question bank mainly. First, I read Harrison, and then I do the questions. I did the questions. The main first and foremost thing is Harrison only, and the best part of doc tutorial is that the Harrison based MCQs are there in the doc tutorial. So I utilize them as that I first read the topic, then did the MCQs of that topic, and then I bookmarked those questions for revision at the last time.
Okay, but you must have gone through some of those videos like the spotters, because there is a video on
Yes, sir.
spotters where we have the cath videos, the
Yes, sir.
ECGs. So those are the like straightforward spotters. One
Yes,
of
sir.
my lecture, which is accessible
Yes, sir.
even for free for others who are not subscriber
Yes, sir.
also. But those kind
Yes,
of
sir.
videos might have helped you in getting through the ECG, X-ray, or the other spotters that were there.
Yes, sir. Those videos helped me a lot. Mainly those videos and the WhatsApp group of cardiology. Those
Okay.
questions that you shared on the group. I only those questions. I read those topics.
Okay.
Whenever you shared those questions on the group, I go back and read those topics also.
Okay. Yeah, so that's one thing that I do. I mean, I usually add all the cardiology aspirants to a WhatsApp group and try to share
Yes, sir.
important MCQ questions as a poll. And then we see the poll. Maybe if it's right, then I don't have to give explanation. But if that's going the other way around, then I do try to give answer as to why it is. So, though for those who are not there on the WhatsApp group, the details, of course, can be shared by the Dr. Turtle's team. So you're, I'm sure, because now you'll get the seat of your choice wherever, whatever I mean, branch we are very clear you want to do cardiology, and
Yes.
seat will you be, of course, your choice. So, are you still intending to prepare because you were subscriber of both the INI as well as the SS? So are you intending to give an INI a shot?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I will be giving INI on 28th.
Okay, so of
Yes, sir.
course, best wishes for that. So let's come
Thank
back
you.
to each part of that individually now. Firstly, the Harrison preparation from the MD exam point of view versus preparation for the SS exam. So, is there any different approach that you need to adopt? Like once you've finished your MD, you go back to
Yes, sir.
Harrison and try to revise or see it in from the MCQ perspective. Is that a different approach, or both are done all throughout the same way in the 3 years? How did you
No, no, sir.
strategize between the
There
two
is
things?
there is difference, not much clearly. Obviously, that MD I gave MD exam in May only, so that helped me a lot. But there is difference between the preparation of MD exam and the MCQs part, as they asked a rare thing also in MCQ. But in MD exam, there are mostly repeated topics. We have to do those repeated questions in that MD Prof exam. But in NEET exam, they ask mainly most obvious. There was around 20 to 25 questions from genetics. So I had to do the mainly the genetics table from Harrison. That helped me a lot, and also rare disease, mainly the जो सबसे पीछे थे टॉपिक्स, हर एक जैसे कार्डियोलॉजी में सबसे पीछे जो टॉपिक्स थे और गैस्ट्रो में
Right,
सबसे पीछे टॉपिक्स थे, वो ज्यादा पूछते हैं वो लोग। और मेनली
right,
जो सबसे पहले टॉपिक्स होते हैं वो एमडी प्रॉफ में पूछते हैं, तो ये थोड़ा सा डिफरेंस आ जाता है सर इसमें।
right. And I think that's what we were discussing even on the WhatsApp group or even in the
यस सर।
platform, that sarcoid and a myeloid. You
यस
bet
सर।
that you'll get questions. And I think there was a lot of
यस सर।
flooding on sarcoid this time.
यस सर।
I distinctly remember two, three questions on cardiac sarcoid. One
यस
question
सर।
was on, again, a
मोस्ट
differential of
कॉमन
sarcoid.
प्रेजेंटेशन सर।
Yes, the most common
यस सर।
presentation, and then the gadolinium enhancement part of it, and ICD insertion, and heart failure,
यस
and
सर।
what kind of
यस
heart
सर।
failure do you get? So absolutely, I mean, they've dug out the sarcoid and put it into perspective, all eight, nine options as a part of the question of understanding of a topic of sarcoid. So I think
यस
that you're right. I mean, these were the two new chapters that had been added compared to the
यस
older editions. These were separated out as separate chapters, especially in Brunwald and Harrison. Also, they were taking these topics very significantly new. I think
यस
that
सर।
also is a perspective that you very rightly brought out, that how the topics are added are the topics that are newer, that are what we think is not so important chordo types actually do
यस
come as the most commonly
यस
asked question, and that's
यस
how they actually distinguish between a topper and not a topper. So
यस
anybody can qualify, but between a topper and not a topper is the distinction of who does this. So good strategizing by you, Dr. Vineet. I think you also
यस
mentioned about genetics. A lot of people did a
यस
lot
सर।
of statistics, but statistics was, I think, barely a couple of questions. One
Three or
question that
four questions were there. Three
yeah,
statistic from statistics only, sir. There was one question
one question.
from yes,
But
sir.
genetics they flooded this time. So everybody
Flooded.
used to
Yes, sir.
get distracted from PYQ to statistics, and the
Yes,
paper went to genetics.
yes,
So how did you prepare genetics? I mean, of course, there are a lot of videos on genetics in our SS group.
yes, sir. I did the MCQs of from doc tutorial of genetics. There are around 80 to 90 MCQs, I think, in doc
Yes,
tutorial Q bank.
a lot of
So I did
repetition
that.
this time.
Yes, sir. I did those questions, and also I looked at the Harrison's table, the main table, the autosomal recessive, autosomal dominant, what are the DDs. So I looked upon that also. So it helped me a lot.
Yes, I think this is very important. Again, pro tip that we always share. Diagram table flowcharts from Harrison and
Yes,
the
sir.
textbook that you want to pursue in are the books that if you do thoroughly, 90% of the syllabus is done. So, I mean, like the quick revision that we are doing next week for INI, Dr. Vineet, I'm sure is going to be joining for that as well.
Yes, sir.
I'll be just doing arrhythmias. I've taken a poll and everybody's polled in. They want arrhythmia to be revised. So what I'm going to touch upon is all diagram table flowcharts, important
Yes,
one
sir.
from the arrhythmia part from Brunwald, take it through the quick revision and then add questions on the spotters and the images. So I think that's a very good strategy. Again, Dr. Vineet has mentioned that you can choose only one subject. So I mean, because I could make it out that you were very much dedicated to cardiology and you were preparing
Yes.
for INI as well. So how did you
Yes.
balance out between INI and SS with focus still staying on cardiology? And of course, you were doing Harrison as a part of MD, but how much time have you been giving to INI preparation for cardiology from that perspective, especially
Sir,
cardiology technical?
mainly the cardiology notes that I have prepared are common. Matlab for INI and NEET SS also, I have revised those notes during my NEET preparation also. So and it helped me a lot actually. The cardiac sarcoidosis, if I would have studied it from the for NEET SS preparation, so I would have not be able to answer those questions. Mainly that
Yes,
cardiac
yes,
sarcoidosis and
yes.
cardiac transplantation. There was pruning
Right.
of
Transplant, there were
vessels.
two questions. Yes.
So I would not have studied if solely अगर मैं NEET SS के लिए prepare कर रहा होता तो. So it helped me a lot, and I would also like to advise those who are giving the NEET SS exam कि INI के लिए prepare करना है. NEET INI वाला जो subject है prepare करके रखो और वही NEET के लिए पढ़ना है, and वो भी help करेगा. मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि time waste होगा, तो help तो करता है.
So that's the strategy. A lot of people, a lot of my students, they inquire, Sir, sirf INI subscription le lu, sirf SS le lu. Dr. Vineet,
Hmm.
actually, you took the combo, right? You took one
Yes,
subject and the SS. That's how you took the
yes, yes,
subscription of doc tutorials, right?
yes,
And
sir.
I think that helps. That makes very much sense. Why you want to spend, preparing cardiology, Harrison separately and cardiology separately.
Yes,
You take and prepare cardiology completely from Brunwald, and the rest of the things you do from Harrison. I think that's a good strategy of balancing out the two. And this is a very important pro tip that Dr. Vineet has shared with all of you. So then there was Grant Test Series. We do a test series which is free across the board, everybody from all
yes.
across the India. What was your rank that you were doing in those tests?
Sir, rank was not actually it was not steady. I was sometimes I got 18 rank, and
Yeah, yeah, I
one time
remember.
I got rank 3 also.
Yes.
So it was not steady, but main thing is that you give the test and you revise it thoroughly.
Okay.
So that is the main thing.
I
That
recall you from being
although
a good performer in the test. That's how I
yes,
remember.
sir,
And then when you send me a text that I have qualified, I said I was expecting at least you.
yes, sir.
So, so good. I mean, so that's how it mimics. I mean, did the doc tutorial pattern of the questions mimic or were similar to the SS patterns? I mean, in the terms of
Yes,
the
sir.
number of questions, of course, everybody knows, but
Yes, sir.
in terms of proportionately subject-wise distribution, or say clinical
Topic wise.
descriptive question versus a recall based pure memory based question, was the proportion almost matching it up, or probably you
Yes,
had
sir.
more recall questions in the SS, more descriptive and analytical questions in doc tutorials, or was it almost the same?
It was almost the same, sir. Because the
Okay.
mainly what I have observed is कि डॉक ट्यूटोरियल का जो टेस्ट होता है वो हैरिसन बेस्ड ही होता है और नीट
Ah,
एसएस भी हैरिसन बेस्ड ही है. तो
right.
mainly this is the important thing कि we are not going on the SS group and rare topics, all the rare topics. Around 75 questions were easy, straight
Mhm.
questions. So mainly doc tutorial GT is was mimicking the NEET SS that I was giving doctoral test only.
Right.
And I used to give the doctoral test like I am giving the NEET SS only. I used
Okay.
to make my room malab, that environment that I am giving NEET SS only.
Right. And so so I believe that out of the 150 odd questions, you might have got like 135, right? How many? What was your score?
Sir, my score is 476, sir.
So, which is like with the how many did you
130.
attempt? How did you attempt? How many did
I
you attempt?
attempted, sir, 140 questions.
So that's like a pretty good match. So that also gives a lot of idea to a lot of students because people were saying 120 kare, 130 kare, but that's
Yes,
not a
sir.
good strategy.
No,
If you
no.
want to make it too big, you need to attempt as many as you can, but of course not
Yes,
be
sir.
overconfident and
Yes, sir.
attempting unnecessarily when you don't lose. So what were the group of questions that you felt were not, they were too dicey, too complicated? If there was a pattern which you left out, or they were across the board, one or the other question across the subspecialty?
Sir, I left mainly from infectious disease as the questions were
Okay.
the out of league. For
Right.
example, there was one question on antibiotic resistance. So
Right.
I read that table from app, but I didn't attempted that question because
Okay.
that question was out of league. And
Yeah, it was
those
out of
type
league.
of questions were there. Mainly, you know that you read the question and you know that it
ये
is
पता
not
है या नहीं पता
going
है.
to. हाँ,
हाँ.
कि ये तो
And
नहीं
then
होगा
I'm
ये
sure
क्वेश्चन.
cardiology में कुछ छोड़ा नहीं होगा. You must have done everything.
नो सर,
Cardiology,
नो नो सर,
100% attempt.
कार्डियोलॉजी तो Yes sir, I attempted 100% because थोड़ा सा ईगो पे भी आ गया था सर कि कार्डियोलॉजी तो नहीं छोड़ना है क्योंकि
No, I'm glad you did, and
कार्डियोलॉजी मैंने
I'm
सबसे अच्छा
happy.
पढ़ा था सर.
Acha.
तो
No, no, of course, if you're preparing for INI, that's your forte. I mean, you always
yes
play
sir,
Rohit or Virat Kohli on top up the line, right? You don't play it at the
yes
end. So yeah, of course. I mean, that's one part that you should be going and all out and attempting, and that's good. I mean, it worked out for you. So a lot of students had this confusion. I think you've brought out very important points about how to prepare, what to prepare, how to give, what is the methodologies of staying around, and very important thing, you always used to answer when I used to put a poll in question. I in my WhatsApp group there are 1100 students or some 1000 plus. But when you put a poll, because of this fear, mera answer galat hoga, only 100 people answer a question. But that's never been the
yes sir.
case. Vineet always answers.
Hmm.
That's how I remember a couple of names. So Vineet ka hamesha poll pe answer hota tha. He may be most of the times he was right, but even if he's wrong, he's not shy to be. So there is, I mean, the right
No no
time to
sir.
be wrong is in the WhatsApp group rather than in
Yes
the
sir.
SS exam.
In the main exam hall. Yes
Right,
sir.
right.
And sir,
So
main thing is that you give the answer wrong and you remember it for all of your life. So
absolutely.
that was the good thing of answering MCQ in WhatsApp group.
Right. So, firstly, any closing comments as a pro tip that you want to give to students from your end, those who are preparing for the next one? INI, to abhi everybody will be appearing, so will be you.
Yes, sir.
So, any tip that you want to give for maybe the next SS exam, for the next NEET exam? Any special
Sir,
tips that you can give for
I've
them?
seen that my juniors are mainly focusing on the app only. Matlab, they are not reading Harrison. So Harrison is a foremost thing that anyone MD medicine basically have go through, should go through. So
Yes,
Harrison is must. And then app is also important. Doing MCQ is also important. The giving test is also important. But during first 2 years of MD, they should read Harrison.
absolutely. Absolutely. You need to pass MD exam also. At least
Yes, sir.
think it that way and prepare. So
Yes,
Harrison has to be read. And only MCQ based approach you can adopt once you're thorough with the subject itself,
yes,
or
sir.
the quest topic itself. Did you attempt that topic like आज amyloid पढ़ा तो लाओ amyloid के question खोल के देख लूं?
Yes,
Or
sir.
was it
Yes,
like
sir.
you were doing like that?
No, no, sir. Actually, initial 2 years, I was
No,
doing
no, at
like
the later part. At the later part.
later part, sir. I was doing this like this only. That I was reading the topic, like I read sarcoid or amyloid. Then I was attempting the MCQ part, and
Right.
I bookmarked those questions that I have failed or that was repetitively asked in the MCQ bank Q bank also. So I bookmarked that questions, or and then I revised it in last 10 days. Those
Right.
bookmarked questions.
Right. And so finally, what's your experience? How has it been with the doctorals and the faculties?
Sir, it was great experience. Sir, I have followed you since I am following you since the last 1 year, and in so it was great, sir. And it helped me a lot. Mainly WhatsApp group and Doc Tutorial MCQ Bank, and your free videos that had been posted in YouTube also. So those helped me a lot, sir.
No, Vivek, it's always a pleasure. And I always tell this to all my students, irrespective of their results and wherever they go, that this is a bond that I create forever. And you can feel free. Your subscription may end, but you can feel free to get connected to me for any guidance at any point of time in your career forever. So that's a commitment as a teacher that I can give you as a mentor to you. And I'll always be happy and pleased to help you out in whichever way I can.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, and it's your moment. It's your sunshine day. Have a good time. Enjoy it with your family. अभी घर पे बताया कि नहीं?
बता दिए सर. सब कुछ है.
तो बता नहीं रहे
हाँ जी
ड्यूटी
सर.
छोड़ के आजा संडे कहाँ कर रहा है?
नहीं नहीं सर, अभी एक्चुअली थोड़ा सर घर पे पढ़ाई भी नहीं होती, तो आईएनआई के लिए भी प्रिपेयर कर रहा था, तो अभी
अच्छा.
आई विल बी स्टेइंग इन हॉस्टल ओनली.
My best wishes for that, and I'm sure I'll be doing another interview with you for the INI result. I know that.
थैंक यू सो
So
मच सर.
best wishes. Thank you,
थैंक यू सो
everyone,
मच सर.
and best wishes to you. Take care, Vineet. Bye bye.
थैंक यू सो मच.
Thank you, and congratulations again.